Hi guys, welcome back to another vlog. This time, I'm bringing you along on our weekend trip to the oldest city in Western Europe, Cadiz. Perhaps you've never heard of Cadiz, but maybe you've seen it. It's been the filming location of several movies, including the James Bond movie Die Another Day. We begin our trip in this beautiful botanical garden, which traces back to the mid-19th century, and you can find over 150 species of plants here, along with these interesting birds and this beautiful waterfall. We actually started here because this park lies in between our hotel and the Santa Barbara parking garage, which is where we parked. And here is our beautiful hotel room. Because Carl is a booking genius, he was able to book us at this 4-star hotel for less than our stay at the sketchy Motel 6 in Portland, Oregon, which literally had a murder the night we arrived. This hotel is far better value for money. It has several pools, a breakfast buffet, and it's a 5-minute walk to Playa de la Caleta. And at the other side of the hotel is the beautiful park that we just walked through. We weren't really hungry when we arrived, but of course we had to get some tapas. So we went on the hunt for our favorites. However, we were quite surprised to see them when they came out because they're a bit different here than in Sevilla, which isn't that far away. They were still really good though. And here is the breakfast buffet, and they also had a chef around the corner. Pro tip, if you book for 7:30 in the morning, you have the entire place to yourself and you get the best table. I was really disappointed in Spanish churros though. In 1812, Spain's sovereignty and first constitution were proclaimed in Cadiz. Our first stop for today is the Cadiz Central Market, which was built in the 1800s and has nearly 200 food stalls. Unfortunately, this early in the morning, you can only buy fresh produce and meat, but we're gonna come back a bit later where we can see the restaurants and the other shops available. This mercado is Spain's oldest covered market, but I'm gonna go really quick through this section because this is not my scene. Cadiz is one of the oldest Phoenician settlements in the West, with archaeological remains dating back to 800 BC, making it the oldest city in Western Europe. The Phoenicians who settled here came from modern-day Lebanon. But you're never gonna guess who founded Cadiz. It was the Greek god Hercules, or so legend has it, which is why he's on the flag. After a long travel day yesterday and waking up kind of early today, we were ready to take a break and see Cadiz from a different angle. With tickets under 20 euros per person, we thought, we had to do this. Cadiz has been a trading port since its founding, but it was especially important during the Age of Discovery. Christopher Columbus sailed from Cadiz on his second and fourth voyages. However, due to its prime location, it became a target and faced many raids and attacks. Many of the buildings standing in the old city, they date back to the 18th century. In the 18th century, 75% of Spanish trade came to Cadiz to cross the Atlantic. That's also why many buildings here have watchtowers. Now we're back at the Mercado. We decided to try some local beer, of course, see what else is open, and watch the cleaning crew of the seafood market. I don't know if you could call this local food. We got tacos and nachos, but the tacos were amazing. And here are the pools. It looks like nobody is here, but everyone is just laying out beside the pools actually. There's also an indoor spa, but apparently you have to book a time, and we arrived when there was a kids' swimming class. As we were doing our evening walk, we stumbled across this place, and they have what's known as the best nachos in town. So of course, we had to try them. There was goat cheese, avocado, jalapeno, and marmalade, not salsa. And underneath all this was a meat mince, which was really good. Carl was not the biggest fan, but I thought it was quite fun to try. You might notice from our vacations that we do nothing but walk, and eat. So for dinner, we actually walked 4 kilometers, not knowing where we were going, but we stumbled across this beautiful restaurant, which was right on the beach, and the food was amazing. We happened to come during tuna season, and the tuna was so fresh. It was great. And the sangria here is the best sangria I've had in my life. And can you guess what we did the next day? A walking tour. We booked with Cadiz California, and our tour guide was so great.
From Conil, there are many towns. But people from the capital, they will normally tell you the code from Cadiz, and they say that twice, to emphasize this is the capital. But then there are some people that were born in the Cadiz city center. They don't consider Cadiz. They belong to real original Cadiz, and they'll tell you they are from Cadiz 3 times. And it's a bit of a local joke, but I've seen t-shirts in so many shops that says from Cadiz. And I think it's an expression that really shows the character of the locals who are always joking, and they're really proud of the city. I think it's fair to say that.
So we learned that this cathedral was built between 1722 and 1838. That's 116 years. That's why the stones at the bottom are much darker than the ones up top. It's because of how old they are. In the historic district, you can actually find remnants of the old medieval wall from the 13th century. In the 8th century, the Muslim invasions began, and you can still find many beautiful Moorish remnants throughout the city, including tile work and even this old mosque, which was converted into a church in 1263. In 1755, parts of Spain and Portugal experienced a massive earthquake, which then led to a tsunami. The water on this street reached 2.5 meters high. That's about 8 feet of water. However, Our Lady of the Palm offered her protection and diverted the water from reaching the church and the end of the street, saving many lives. In 200 BC, Cadiz became part of the Roman Empire and was called Cadiz. Julius Caesar actually visited Cadiz on several occasions. However, the Roman theater of Cadiz was abandoned and built over throughout time, and it was accidentally rediscovered in 1980, along with Venetian coffins, which you can see at the museum. It's free to visit, and we never would have found this if it weren't for our tour guide. As we were just walking down the street, we came across this beautiful women's hospital. We didn't go inside, but after looking into it now, I really wish we would have. It was built in 1736. Here is the coolest post office I've ever seen. Since it was our last night here, we decided to try both of our tour guide's recommendations for restaurants. And I'm so glad we did. This one was our favorite, and the food and prices were great. We started with chicharrones, which is what we got the first night we came here, and it was like sliced thin pork, but this is what we were expecting. Next, we tried local oysters, which I'm not a big oyster fan, but these were really good. And croquetas, of course. And last but not least, shrimp fritters. To Americans, this might look scary because it's entire shrimps fried whole. So you're eating the eyeballs, the tail, the legs, everything. Then our server talked me into testing goat cheese cheesecake. It was served with lemon curd, and it was very nice. Then we continued to walk. I must say, I think 2 days was perfect because it is like a small little island, and I feel like we pretty much saw everything. Before bed, we tested the tour guide's second recommendation for restaurants, and this one was also really good. The prices were great, and the owner of the restaurant was socializing with everybody, making sure you really enjoyed your food. It was a great way to end our trip here. Cadiz really blew me away with its beauty and its history. I felt safe the whole time I was there. We saw many families, many dogs. It was a great atmosphere. And I hope you guys enjoyed coming along. But don't go anywhere just yet, because we're driving 40 minutes away to another town where we're going to show you something really cool. Welcome to Alcázar de Jerez de la Frontera. This Moorish fortress was built between the 12th and 13th centuries by the Almohad Caliphate, which was a North African Muslim empire from modern-day Morocco. Here is the mosque, which was converted into a chapel by Spain's king in 1264. By royal decree, the Villavicencio family took tenancy in the Alcázar in 1664. They added this oil mill and also the pink palace we saw when we entered. And here are the Arab bats. Here you can see the very impressive hydraulic infrastructure that Arabs created to fill the baths, pools, and cisterns. Here is a water wheel. They don't know if it was powered by humans or animals, but it was used to collect water out from the cistern. It was so cool to walk around this beautiful Moorish architecture and learn more about Islamic rituals. And it's totally mind-blowing that all this was built in the year 1100. This fortress was definitely worth the drive. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for coming along. Be sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more. See you next week.